Welcome to the first annual Gearhead Garden Pony Car Shootout. Now, it's not going to be as exciting as you think it is. There's going to be no driving, no roasting tires, nothing. This is real simple. What we're going to do is, as of July 2014, we're going to look at the 2014 pony cars currently available, most likely at your dealer, because you're not going to be able to order these anymore. We're too far into the model year. Now, in case you're wondering, if you're watching this and you're not in the U.S., you may wonder, what is a pony car? Well, what a pony car is a formula. The first ones were made and generally attributed to Ford and the Mustang, thus the name pony car, because there's always a pony on the grill. And the formula is basically this. It's either an intermediate or compact vehicle, two-door coupe style, more of a sports flair to it, more of a sporty body. Has a long hood and what's called a short deck, or a short rear end, meaning small trunk. They're not as practical as some cars. They usually have 4 seats. Generally, the 2 front seats are the only ones that are comfortable, and the back one is fine if you have no legs. So, you know, it's kind of there for looks, or to maybe throw your jacket on. So that's pretty much the formula of a pony car. What survived is only 3, and that's the Ford Mustang, which has been around forever and never went out of production. The Chevy Camaro, which just came back in 2010 after let's see 2002 to 2000, about an 8-year hiatus. And in 2008, the Dodge Challenger came back. Dodge Challenger, great looking car. So's the Camaro, so's the Mustang. They all have their roots in you know, the 60s pony car heritage, and they brought it forward. Our 3 competitors, if you can call them that, they're really comparators, not competitors, but are the Dodge Challenger, and specifically the Challenger RT, and the Chevrolet Camaro, specifically the 1SS package, and the Mustang GT. We'll start off with the Challenger. Now, here's the criteria for the shootout. I picked these 3 cars, and I went to each manufacturer's website and built them bare bones, which means all I wanted was a V8, a manual transmission, and really nothing else. Whatever comes standard with whatever package the V8 gives you, that's fine. That's all I want. I didn't want anything else. The only exception I made to that rule is the color of the car. If I had to pay more to get red, because that's I happen to like certain colors of red, I'd put that in there. But generally, it's a negligible difference in price. You're talking literally $1 or $2 per month on a payment. No custom wheels, no leather interior, no fancy radios, no overly complicated, you know, technology package crap, no race packs, nothing like that. We're just talking a V8 and a manual. We're talking the quintessential bone stock pony car, not all classed up and fluffed up with a bunch of crap. So, and we're starting with the Challenger RT because the RT is the first V8 offering that Dodge has made of a Challenger that isn't $45,000. I'm kidding. Really, it is the lowest level. It is the lowest branch on the performance tree of V8 Challengers available currently from Dodge. Now, you'll see here, the only thing I added here was this electronics convenient group, and that's only, it gives you a compass and the temperature outside and that. All that's there for is it just basically brings the electronics package up to a level equivalent to the Camaro and the Mustang. That's all it does. Because the Chrysler tends to be a little more a la carte in their options, whereas Ford and GM kind of give you a package and stick you with it, whether you want it or not. But some of the options that Chrysler leaves out are mind-numbingly strange. But anyway, what you're going to get for $29,240, that's with $3,000 worth of current rebates and a payment of $408 for 72 months, which is 6 years. You are going to get the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 variable valve timing, a 6-speed manual. You're going to get cloth seats. You're going to get the 18-inch standard wheels, not the 20-inch, nothing, no big deal there. Yeah, even 55s, that's even kind of a skinny tire for a V8 car, but that's what you're going to get. The radio, it's a standard radio. The one thing that's kind of stand out from a performance aspect with this car is the 392 rear axle. Higher numbers on a rear axle ratio tend to mean more seat of the pants, more get off the line fast, more performance oriented. That's great. And the 6-speed manual will help offset some of the, and that will be there, the loss in fuel economy. Because while it's great off the line and it's fun to roast those tires, you could cost yourself 2, 3, even 5 miles per gallon with a higher numerical gear ratio. I know this from experience. It's the only one that's offering that high a ratio as a base package V8 car in the Challenger and specifically the Pony Car group. So if that's important to you, great. So there's your option. You're looking at about, really without the incentives, you're looking at about 32 grand is what you'd be paying for this. So fuel economy, yeah, okay. Fuel economy, you're looking at roughly 15 miles per gallon in the city and probably in 23 highway. It's not great, but those numbers are always tend to be on the conservative side anyway. So, okay, moving on. The 2014 Camaro, the lowest level of performance with a V8 you can get in a Camaro is the 1SS, and it still gets you the LS7, where the 5.7 liter Hemi is 375 horsepower in the Challenger RT. In the Camaro 1SS package, you're getting 425 horsepower out of a 6.2 liter LS7 V8. That, again, aside from the color of the car, which is the only option I chose here, which is a $395 option, it's the 1SS package, which is the lowest package that you can get that's still got the V8. 6-speed manual transmission. Standard rear end on this car is 345, which is why the fuel economy is a little better. Now, they don't say it. They only tell you 30 miles per gallon highway with the V6, which is their 3.7 liter V6. They don't tell you with the V8s, probably because they're embarrassed, but you're just about 2 miles per gallon better than the Challenger. But with the 345 rear end, which is a little taller ratio, which means numerically lower, that 1 or 2 miles per gallon is probably directly coming from the fact that the rear end isn't as aggressive as the Challenger. There's also an option available if you go with an automatic to actually have the that same technology Cadillac used a few years back. I believe it was on the CTS that actually could turn off certain cylinders when you're at highway speeds to save fuel. You can get that, but you're talking about $3,000 to $4,000 adding to the price. And I don't know if you'll make that up in gas savings over time, but I don't know if you'll get the car to 30 miles per gallon. But in this day and age, for any car to not be able to at least get 23 or 24 miles per gallon from a V8 on the highway, there's just something wrong there. Honestly, if you're a more conservative driver, I would be surprised to see numbers like 25 to 27 on the highway, and maybe closer to low 20 on the city, depending on what your commute's like. But okay, here's the brass tacks. 32,745. Again, these are all going to be around 32,000 for the base model. They're saying 49 for 72 months. I think that has everything to do with the $3,000 of incentives on a Challenger that's making this monthly so much higher. And remember, these are MSRP, and this is factory incentives. Your dealer may have more incentives, may have been able to do a deal for you. The fact that these cars are getting a little long in the tooth, if they have them on the lot, they might be willing to move. So you may be able to get a deal there, but this is what the factory is saying these cars are worth right now. No lease option on the Camaro that I'm seeing here, so you're pretty much just a buy it or don't kind of deal. So with that, we'll finally move on to the Mustang GT. The Mustang GT is the lowest level of V8 powered Mustang. And that is going to get you the 5-liter, I believe it used to be called the Coyote, but the Coyote motor. That is, I believe that is like a, again, and also like a 412 horsepower motor. But with it, with the GT, the base package, you're looking at a 6-speed manual. You're looking at again, probably a 331 rear axle. I haven't seen anything specific on here on what the rear end ratio was on the Mustang, but electric power steering, aluminum wheels, 18-inch wheels, just like the Challenger. So a little less equipment as far as performance rated equipment, but still, it's about the same price as the Mustang. You're looking at $31,475, $416 monthly payment, which is closer to the Challengers. And they don't even have the deal, so this price is actually a little more in line. Nothing special here. Again, $395 for the ruby red paint that I picked. Nothing special to radio. Nothing here. Nothing I have chrome wheel locks, which don't add anything to these numbers with the over here for the net price or the monthly payment. So then again, you're looking at $32,000. Fuel economy in these. What are they're claiming for the GT? They're not claiming anything. Hold on. Oh, there we go. 15 and 26. That's with the manual. That's not bad. That's pretty much the same numbers as what you're going to get out of the Camaro. So not a bad deal. Probably, I would say, a better deal than the Challenger. But looking at these, looking at mileage and looking at what you get, here's the one thing. With the 1SS package for the same 32 grand, even though this seems like it's the most expensive one in the bunch, if you go back and look at exactly what that package gives you, and let's see. Let me find. There's actually, this is kind of important. Of course, it's 6.2, but you get the 20-inch wheels. You get 4-piston Brembo brakes. Now, Brembos are an upgrade over the factory brake system. Now, if you wanted, you could go even further, get 6-piston Brembo brakes, which are like full race, but you're not going to need that for going back and forth to work. You get the special body and ground effects stuff that the SS has, which is differentiated from the V6s. Sirius radio, you get the and the Camaro has the 7-inch touchscreen thing going on. Kind of like what you see in all the European cars nowadays with the touchscreens and GPS and nav and convenience center, all that stuff. But you get a lot more in the package than you get from the Mustang. So for bang for the buck, it's probably going to be the Camaro. But I'm thinking a close second, it'd have to be the Mustang. The pricing's good. You know, the performance is very similar. The styling is good. So anyway, so I guess the Camaro wins it for the 2014 this year. We'll see what happens in 2015. 2015 Mustang's getting a redesign. The Challenger is getting a refresh. The Camaro is getting a refresh, but nothing major. The most major is Mustang is getting completely restyled in 2015. And from what we've seen from the early examples, my personal opinion is it looks like half Ford Focus, half Aston Martin, which ain't a good combination, but Ford's going to do what they're going to do. Oh yeah, and they're bringing back a 4-cylinder with a turbo, which I think is ridiculous. No 4-cylinder engine has ever been considered a performance option in any pony car, even a Mustang. Yes, I know a lot of Mustangs in the 80s and 70s had 4-cylinder engines, and they were all garbage. So, but that's just the opinion of the guy who runs the Gearhead Garden. until next year when we do the 2015 shootout.